Hey, Congressman Jim Jordan here. Just wanted to say thank you for helping Veterans for America First and all the great work they're doing.
Hey, Congressman Mike Collins here. Listen, a big shout out to Veterans for America First, organization out there doing great things, backing candidates and helping our veterans, people who really need your help and deserve all the gratitude, debt we could never repay them. Thank you for what you're doing. Keep up the hard work.
Politicians are very good at playing with words. They always talk about gun control. How about right control? Because when you go against the Second Amendment, that's our right. That's our God-given right, not only by God, but by the Founding Fathers. So why don't you just call it what it really is, right control? You're taking our rights away. You cannot regulate evil. Evil is evil, and evil is always going to be persistent, and it's always going to be here. So why get rid of our ability to protect ourselves? The Second Amendment right protects the rest of them, and it protects us. It protects your home, your body, and your spirit, because without it, how are you going to protect yourself? Don't be a sheep. Don't follow just because it's popular. Think for yourself. Be yourself. Be that individual that God made you to be. He wasn't born to follow. He was born to lead. Welcome back to the Real News with Lucretia Hughes. Like I said, this is the second half hour. It's a half hour show. If you are a NRA voting member, remember, if you go to the Rifle magazines, Hunter magazines, any magazine that has Vote NRA Board of Directors, please make sure y'all vote for me, okay? Just vote for me for for this upcoming Board of Directors. You will see my name in the Hunter magazines and the Survivor magazines. And make sure y'all get over there to fallbackusa2.myshopify.com. That is how y'all can bless us. That's how y'all can support us also. We really appreciate it. And our next guest, because I'm going to have guests on for the next month and a half. I just saw her website, so I'm just going to give you a little bit, because I'm like, Lieutenant Colonel. Okay. It says her name is Patty Hamilton. It says, I'm a retired Lieutenant Colonel with combat tours of duty in both Iraq and Afghanistan. It says basic combat training, military police school, officer basic course, airlift planning course, air movement course, hazardous material, adjunct, a general school, officers, advanced courses. Basically, she know her things, okay? She said, for 29 years, therefore, I change civilian jobs every time we move from state to state and from different countries. Some of my work experience include being a community-based outpatient clinic manager at a Department of Veterans Affairs in Lancaster. And it also says she has a bachelor's and a master's degree and science degree in education at Walden University. You need to be on a commercial, okay? She said this is what she stands for. We always want to deal with 80-20 people. She's like a 90. She's a 90-10. She said, what I stand for, always maintain the highest level of integrity, duty to uphold our constitutional freedoms, ensure parent rights to protect their children, and defend the biological girls in high school sports, stand for rights of farmers, small businesses, while keeping efficient, honest government, lowering taxes, and ensure Ohio is energy dependent. She needs to come to Georgia. She needs to get on down. We need put more people like her around the United States. So everybody, I want to welcome Patty Hamilton to the show. Hey, Patty.
Hi, how are you this evening?
I guess I shouldn't have been cutting down limbs today. I feel like the pollen, it's a fake spring. So hopefully I'm just going to dope up and go to bed after this show. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Now, when you ran for office in Ohio, oh my God, what made you want to stand up and actually run for the 12th district in Ohio? Because that was an uphill battle.
Well, I had a lot of people that agreed with me that our current representative is not who we really love, if you will. He's wishy-washy. He stands for government answers and anything that can enrich him. He supports industrial solar because industrial solar for him means that he gets money from it. And unfortunately, I want somebody, and I guess that's really why I did it, is I wanted to have somebody in there that actually wanted to talk to the people. Because everywhere I went around to all of Pickaway, Madison, and Franklin County. Nobody really had talked to him except for people in Pickaway County because he was a commissioner here. But he had been Madison County, their representative for quite a long time, and nobody knew him. They didn't even know what he did for them, or, not. I mean, he went to a school event, and a news media person knew who he was,
And
but
that was
the
it.
local people didn't.
So who actually get out there? I mean, when y'all have meetings, Republican meetings, or any type of meetings, and they're supposed to come to the meetings and talk to the people, he doesn't show up.
Um, he shows up to some things for the first 5-10 minutes after he's introduced, and he gives a spiel, and then he leaves. He doesn't want to talk to you and shake your hand. He doesn't want to hear the concerns that you have. I just actually spoke to someone recently. I don't know if you heard, but even in the prison system, we're having trouble with criminals actually killing our corrections officers. So one of the corrections officers, and this happened on Christmas Day of all
Wow.
times. I mean, it's never a good day to have it happen. But this corrections officer had been harassed by this inmate before, and they knew the person, and he ended up dying. While I was talking to somebody that was a corrections officer as well, he said he hold of our representative, and it just so happens our representative gave him a staffer. A staffer talked to him. Nobody else did. He didn't even have the courtesy to call him back. But thankfully, a representative from just one district over called him up and said, hey, I really want to hear what's going on. I really want to help the corrections community get this right. But I mean, and it's the same person. Mark Johnson, he's a state representative for a district right next to us. He's amazing. He listens, he talks to people, he shakes hands, he will sit down and have dinner with you. But our representative, unfortunately, he's absent. In my
Yeah.
opinion, he's AWOL. Even though he was in the military, in his job right now, he's AWOL, absent without proper leave, because he should be talking to the people here in our community, and he's not.
So what made you go into the army? What made you not only go into the army and enlist in the army, but you stayed there to become a lieutenant colonel in the army? What made you get in the army first, and then you did tours in Iraq and Afghanistan, and then you came back and you continued to be in the military? What made you get in there, and what did you learn doing a lot of those tours in Iraq and Afghanistan?
Well, the original reason why I joined the military is my dad served for 20 years in the military in the Air Force, and he told me, don't join the military. But I was like, it's that patriotic spirit. You want to do what's good for your country. So I joined the military when I was in college. That's what began my career. And I really felt like we need good people defending our nation. And personally, after going to Iraq and Afghanistan, I realized how much even more important it is, because even though, I have differing feelings about everything that happened in Iraq and Afghanistan, so I'm kind of on the edge of it. But when you stand shoulder to shoulder with your brothers and sisters in arms, it's very important to defend that. But one of the biggest things that I still believe today, I would rather fight the enemy in their country and not on our land, because then our people here will be safe. When, obviously 9/11 changed a lot of that. They brought it here to our country, so it made it even worse. So fighting back and, defending our national defense and stopping the enemy from, coming here and destroying our nation. Unfortunately, we've had a lot of, I don't know, the Palestinian protests and
Yes.
everything have really made me think, how can we allow people like that to, even be in our country. I mean, I look at, I was just reading Tucker Carlson was talking about Ilhan Omar. I mean, she's so anti-American. He's wondering,
How
should
is she
we
still up
deport
there?
her?
This is the question. Number one, I've never thought a foreign anybody that wasn't born in America should be holding the highest, one of the highest position in our land, and that's at the federal level. If she hates us so much, she has her hands on top national security clearance to a country that's still technically considered terrorist, but it seems like she advocates more for them and her people than her American people of where she actually lives at. And the way she sounds is so anti-American. How is she still a congresswoman is the only thing that I'm trying to figure out.
Well, I wonder that as well. And I only can think that maybe Michigan, I mean, not Michigan, Minnesota, where she's from. I know there's a large Somalian community. But what happened just recently? You know, the Somalians, the terrorists there, the military went in and took them out. And I'm just wondering, why is it that she's defending people like that? I mean,
And get
she's
sending money. Remember the U.S. aid that just came out with Elon Musk doing all that digging. Come to find out, the U.S. aid was given Somalia too. Well, not U.S. aid. I guess it's our aid. We was funding Somalia too with the refugee resettlement program, just like what happened in Afghanistan after that abrupt leaving that big old hole and all our equipment and everything. That was so wrong.
it was.
That was so wrong. We are still not only giving them money, we're still giving them equipment. I don't know if we're still doing it during Trump's term. I think that stopped, but Biden was still given mounds of cash and still given weaponry, and we still have our citizens left in Pakistan. Can we get them back? Afghanistan. I'm sorry, Afghanistan. Can we get them back?
Well, I know that there's a lawsuit that's going on right now of a veteran that was bringing people back from Afghanistan, U.S. citizens, and he's suing because they said that he was not to be trusted and he shouldn't have done that. He shouldn't have went over there. So I think that there's military people that are willing to go over there and get them back. Just like we never leave anybody behind. That's the motto of the military. And so we shouldn't be leaving them behind because truthfully, I mean, I've been to Afghanistan and I truthfully don't want to ever go back because it is not a place that is friendly, first of all, to women and children. I know that for a fact. I've seen it with my own eyes. And I don't think that it's really good for anybody because it's until they can get the Taliban out of there and destroy them, there's just, I mean, Afghanistan and trying to get rid of them is had been like Russia. They couldn't do it. So I don't know if they want to. Unfortunately, the people of Afghanistan have a different mindset than we do in America. I'm not really sure why, because you talk to some of them and they are like, oh, they love America and they'd love to be here. But then you have some that are just totally, I don't know if it's brainwashing. I'm not, it's just one of those things. It's almost like the Jim Jones cult or David Koresh, that cult mentality, which is kind of, you know, frightening to think that people are that far gone. But so I agree with you. We should not be allowing anything militarily wise to go to Somalia, but we should also be getting every U.S. citizen out of Afghanistan and bringing them home because they deserve
Yes.
to live in this free nation if they're U.S. citizens. And even some of those interpreters that put their lives on the line, if they're alive, unfortunately, when they took that job as an interpreter, they put their life out there, and the Taliban can torture them or kill them. So it's really unfortunate. That's one of the things that when I went to Iraq, that was my first deployment, and one of the things that I learned is the Iraqi people. They said they would lie to Americans, and I was like, why are you lying to us? We're trying to help you, and they're like, oh no, because every time they told the truth to somebody, like the police, the Iraq police or whatever, they would actually use it against them,
Oh, wow.
and they would, um, torture their family. And so they continually lied because they did not want to have their family tortured. So it's really kind of a backward mentality, and very much manipulation. So I learned a lot. Sadly to say, um, I just, there's so many things that you would hope that they could figure out, but it is one of those things that you can only save one at a time,
And
is the
then
way I look at
hopefully,
it.
and
And
because I know during all of Biden's years, especially over the southern border and the northern border, because I know a lot of people forget about the northern border, and the northern border is close up there to you. There was drugs, gangs, illegals,
right.
soldiers walking across the northern and the southern border. Now we know there's some Afghanis up in there. We know there's terrorists up in there. They're saying from 196 nations walked across the southern border. Are we equipped to take these people on?
Well, I think that we are equipped to take them on, but again, it has to be, you can't have people like the Denver mayor, uh, corralling those people and telling them when things are going to happen. I mean, that you definitely need to take, and you need to
Wait,
have the
wait a
element of
minute.
surprise to take them out.
The Denver mayor was the one that leaked the information about Tom Homan and ICE coming into Aurora, Colorado. And is that what Tom Homan is talking about today?
Well, I don't know if it was the actual mayor that had the information, but there was somebody within the group of DHS that leaked it to someone in the mayor's office that they ended up having to postpone. And the exact same thing happened in Chicago as well. So the element of surprises always has to be on your side, and that's with any operation that you do militarily and even as a police officer. I mean, it's the same concept. And if you think about it, if you're hunting, you don't want to let the deer smell you and hear you when you're hunting out, so it's kind of that element of surprise in everything you do.
Wow.
So in this situation, that's the only way you're going to be able to take them down. And I agree with Trump. They have to be really tough people, the ICE agents, and they have to be able to wield knives and guns in close quarters. It's a dangerous job. I know it is. So.
So yesterday, because I'm just looking at what you stand for, ensure parents' rights to protect their children and defend biological girls in high school. Now I know you saw what happened yesterday with
Oh,
President Trump, where he did you see all the girls and the way the little young ones started just swarming around Trump. He looked so comfortable. He looked just like a granddaddy on that one
oh, yes.
particular
I
thing.
agree. Well, before I got on, I was just flipping through X real quick, and J.K. Rawlings, she said, "Oh, yeah, this is one time, that, the liberals think that if they can demonize women and girls, that they're going to, get ahead." Well, I think it backfired. That picture showed it all. It showed that we as Americans, it does not matter what your political affiliation is, you should be supporting women and girls so they don't have to go through that. I mean, I can't imagine what these young girls have had to endure the last 4 years going into locker rooms not knowing if they're going to have a biological male in there.
Well,
It's
don't
just,
forget there was a couple of basketball games between a couple of schools where the boy, actually bloodied a girl's nose and broke her teeth. Because I'm
oh
sitting
my
here like,
gosh.
how in the world are you playing against a girl in a high school basketball game? And I remember that made huge news. And I said, you know what? For feminists all my life, you burn bras to make sure that we have the right to vote, say we want women have equal rights. And then you wait until 2020 and decide you don't even know what a woman is anymore and that men can have babies. This last 4 years has been the most butt turned around backwards situation I have ever lived in society. And then they wanted to force us to make and act like it was normal. I'm not Delulu to say that what's his name? Who is Booty Plug? Booty Plug, the former transportation guy. I'm not stupid enough to tell me that he's breastfeeding his children, and
I
that
know.
him and his boyfriend are, that's the mom, that's the dad. That had got so bad. I'm just shocked at this time that we still got a military. I'm just being honest, because the
Yeah.
recruitment videos that was coming out during Biden's tenure, I would not want to go and join the military because there was no patriotism at all, and then you having leaders that was confused themselves.
Right.
I don't understand how they let that go, and that showed weakness around the world. To me, in the last 4 years, that showed us the weakest we've ever been in the last 4 years, and everyone around the world knew we was weak. But now, Trump just playing golf, and they backtracking. I'm like, Trump, all you said is I'm going to hit you with a tariff, and they backtracking. So, what do you feel about all of these countries that was hating America, hating Trump, and now that they know they need us so much, USA is gone, aid is gone. They're not going to get any money anymore from America. Why do you think they're backtracking and now wanting to work with Trump?
Well, I think that they really understand that this is a game changer, and they think that if America can make this change and get out of the liberal lunatic cesspool that we were in the last 4 years, if we can stand up for that, other people are inspired. The people of other nations are inspired. And I think that they realize that their countrymen are going to do the same thing and they are going to get voted out. And I mean, look at Justin Trudeau.
Ooh.
We know he's gone. And you more that are right behind him that are going to be gone, and it's not going to happen. I mean, Italy has already done it. I mean, I don't know if you seen the prime minister from there, but she seemed very conservative when every time she speaks, it's amazing. So I think that the wave of change is going to come, and I think they're going to backtrack because they know that they need the support, and if they don't do it, they're definitely out.
Okay, next one, Zelensky. Zelensky and Ukraine are now demanding, not asking, demanding for nuclear warheads. What do you feel about that? And they cannot find, okay, the news, if you believe the news and the government, they said they gave Ukraine $200 billion in cash. That's not including the weaponry. So earlier this week, Zelensky came out and said, nope, we didn't get that money. We only got 71 billion of it. Where the rest of the money went? And how do you feel about him demanding nuclear warheads?
Well, first of all, he shouldn't have nuclear warheads. That's number one. I've always had the suspicion. This is just me. Maybe call me a conspiracy theorist, but I really think that he really wanted this war himself. Zelensky did. Because he wanted power and control. Guess what? They didn't have an election. He
Right.
continued to be in power. They shouldn't have those nuclear weapons. I don't think that he would be trusted. I don't know how that would go. And here's the other thing: in the military and in the government service, you have to sign for funds that you receive. So where are the receipts? Who had him sign for these funds? You don't just wire it to the bank account without somebody's signature. So if he says he only got 70 some billion, which is way more than he should have received
Yes.
anyways, but that somebody has to have the receipts on this.
Maybe
It has to be there.
maybe it's the Biden family because he pre-exempted a pardon, whatever he post-pardon or pre-pardon his family, and we know for a fact that the business associates James and Jim and Hunter and all the rest of them had businesses inside of Ukraine, and we're understanding now it was pretty much a money washing campaign. Well, they washed so much money away. Where did all that money go to? Where did that money? Where did,
I know.
can can they get in trouble?
Prostitutes? I don't know. That's Hunter. I'm sure he did a good job of supporting them. The class that couldn't make it, I guess, in a real job. I don't know.
And
Not
then you
sure.
got to look at China.
Oh,
China
absolutely.
is not only you have to worry about BRICS, and that's the new currency with Russia they're trying to do, And now we got to worry about all the tariffs and everything Trump is getting ready. I don't know what happened 2 days ago with USPS when it came out and said that they was going to halt all of shipping from China and Hong Kong. And then all of a sudden it was reversed the very next day. Is this the trade war that America and China is about to get into? Because right now we're getting so much stuff imported into America from China, and it's not vice versa. What do you feel about that? And do you think it's going to cause a conflict?
Well, I don't like it that China has been flooding our market with goods that are really, to be honest with you, they're not made the same. My husband and I talk about it. We have a rental business, and the one thing is every time we buy something, we're looking, does it say made in China? Because we know that it'll break as soon as we, use it for any length of time. It's just not, good product. And then we gave all of that scrap steel to China, and then they sell it back to us in junk. I'm totally against that. President Trump is spot on with the trading. Is it going to cause a ripple effect of problems with trading? Maybe it will, but knowing President Trump, it's not going to. And here's the other thing. The bigger picture is that we need manufacturing back in the United States.
Yes.
That's the only way we're going to get it. And, China, they need somebody for their, oil. Yeah, they could get Russia, but, if Putin comes to the table with President Trump and they work through the Ukraine issue, I'm sure that he can get him on board instead of allowing the Chinese to influence him. And China's going to need us anyways. That is a fact.
The last one is the energy independent. You don't have to worry about electric vehicles anymore. You don't have to worry about wind turbines being the only thing. President Trump is saying drill, baby, drill. What is because the last one is lower taxes and ensure energy independent. What in Ohio is under the ground that can not only be energy independent, but bring more energy independent into America as a whole?
Well, we have a lot of natural gas in Ohio, and that's one of the biggest things. Everybody says that solar produces so much. They have actually taken a lot of that back. The EPA has caused Ohio to, like our local co-op, they are made to actually have solar in their portfolio. And it's kind of sad because they know, and the smaller co-ops, the rural community knows that you cannot live on electricity. You have to have natural gas and coal. And that we have that. We've been fracking. We have natural gas. There's plenty of it. When Trump said there's liquid gold under our feet, yeah, it's here in Ohio too. West Virginia's right next door. We're, good partners, good stewards. We'll take all of their coal. I would love them to bring back. We had back in 2009, there were, I think, 45 coal-fired plants. Now we're down to 3 in the state of Ohio to do our energy because of all this EPA and all these solar mandates and everything. It's terrible. And we all know where it comes from. And then they put these solar, they call them farms, but they're solar projects, and they're constantly thinking that's good. It leaches chemicals into our land so that farmland will never grow anything again. So it's not worth it. Plus, they're shipping that energy out to New York and other places and Chicago, because they have totally shut down coal-fired plants and natural gas. And so now they want it from people that still produce it. So it's like running an extension cord to Chicago and New York from Ohio. And it's dumb. It's absolutely stupid. And we can be energy dominant, just like President Trump said, Anwar and in the Gulf of America. That's where we need to start getting it going right now.
Oh, that's my husband. He trying to give me signals and everything. So everybody, Patty, I want to give you the last word. Everybody, this is Patty Hamilton, and I want to give you her website so you could go find out more about her. And it kind of just had it up, Patty. Patty, I promise you, I had it up because I was multitasking.
Yeah,
It is
it's okay.
Patty for Ohio rep.com, and you can find out as much as you want on her. It gives her background, her bio, and everything. And I say go over there. Can they still donate, or are you planning on running for office again?
Well, I'm not taking donations right now. I'm working on exactly what I'm going to do this time because it is a lot of work. I know you know that because you've done it yourself, and it takes a lot of time and money. But it's like, where do you fit in? You have to see where you go. Vivek Ramaswamy wants to run for governor. I'm not sure. My heart may be in moving towards helping him because we need a Doge guy in Ohio.
Amen.
Definitely.
So go ahead and have the last word, everybody. This is Patty Hamilton again. So tell everybody where they can find you, social media platform, and footprint.
Okay, I'm on X at Patty85 Hamilton. I'm on Facebook, Patty Hamilton, and let's see. I'm not sure what else. I don't have any other. I have my website, pattyforohiorep.com. But I'm here in District 12, just south of Columbus, so I'm out everywhere. So I'd love to talk to you.
Absolutely. So everybody, y'all stay tuned. Facebook is going to stay back on because we got one more guest. We'll be right back. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I hope you get feeling better.
Thank you. Bye, my husband.
Take care.
You
Okay,
too.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye. What else do you like?
So I'm not going to get ahead of the Trump administration on the executive orders, but there may be a great executive order coming up soon regarding the Department of Education.
Yes.
So I will tell you that. So keep on watching X and Truth Social. There may be something really, really good coming up in the next few days or even sooner.
Are you a voting member of the NRA? My name is Lucretia Hughes NRA. I will never compromise my beliefs in God, family, our country, and my Second Amendment. I am running for the board of directors of the NRA, and I would appreciate your vote.